I'm going to show you the introduction to squaring. So if you've ever wondered what those squares on the bead cabinet are, I'm going to tell you about that. I'm going to start with the chain of 4. We have 4 one time, 4 2 times, 4 3 times, 4 4 times. Watch what I do. What have I made? A square. A square of what? A square of 4. We have 4 here, 4 here, 4 here, and 4 here. I have 4 4 times. I've taken 4 4 times. We can show it like that. I've taken 4 4 times. 4 times 4. It is the same as our square. And we see that this is the square of 4 by just looking at the length. Here we have 4, and the width. Here we have 4. 4 and 4. 4 and 4. And the way that you can write 4 squared is like this. We have 2 4s, 4 times 4. We know that's 16, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 4 times 4, we can write it as 4 squared. These 2 4s are shown with this little 2 that's floating a little bit higher, is a little bit smaller than this 4. We call that an exponent. And 4 squared, Polly, we're in the middle of a lesson. 4 squared equals 16. Let's try another. Let's try 3. Here's our chain of 3. We have 3 one time, 3 2 times, 3 3 times. Well, that's interesting. Last time with our 4 chain, we had 4 4 times. Now we have 3 3 times. So let's do the same thing. All right, we made a square. It's all the same on each side, right? 3 3 3 3. We have 3 one time, 3 2 times, 3 3 times. We could show it like this. That's our square. So 3 3 times, we can write it like this, 3 squared, because we're looking at 3 on one side and 3 on the other side, which gives us our 3 times 3 as well. And that equals 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's try the 5 chain. 5 one time, 5 2 times, 5 3 times, 5 4 times, 5 5 times. We fold it up, and what did we make? Yep, a square, which we have here. And all we really need to do is look at one side and another side, a length and a width. And that tells us it's a square because it's the same here and it's the same here, 5 and 5. So we have 5 times 5. 5 times 5 tells us it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So 5 squared is 25. Another way we could do it is count by our 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Let's try the 6 chain. Polly, You're gonna have to move now. I'm sorry. I know. You want to be a part of the math lesson. We have our 6 chain, 6 1 times, 6 2 times, 6 3 times, 6 4 times, 6 5 times, 6 6 times. No, Polly, you gotta stay on my lap. I'm sorry. It's time for her lunch, I think. We're getting close to time to her lunch. Okay, we made a 6 square. Did you know that the short chains made squares? Wonder what the long chains make. So what do we have here? 6 times 6, yep. And that's the same as 6 squared. 6 times 6 is 6 squared. 6 times 6 makes a square, and that's why we put that little 2, because it means squared. And that equals 36. If we counted up all the beads in there, that would equal 36. We can do that with all the numbers. We can do that from 1 to 10. We can actually go beyond 10. We can do any number, you wanted. But what I want you to do for your assignment is I want you to take a piece of graph paper and I want you to draw out the squares. So we have, let's use a colored pencil. If we started with 1 square, that'd just be a 1 square on each side, right? So 1, 1, 1, 1. 1 times 1 equals 1 square, and that equals how many squares did I color in? 1. Let's try 2. What color of beads do we use for 2? Green. So 2 on each side. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So we're multiplying what? 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is the same as 2 squared. See how small that 2 is up there? Equals, how many squares do I have in here? 4. Three would be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 3 times 3 is the same as 3 squared. 2 represents each of those 3's. Equals, how many are in there? 9. 3, 6, 9. And keep going. Do all the squares up to 10, writing out what they equal, and then if you end up wanting to do more, you could always go past 10 and see what those squares would be. You could even cut out the squares and cut out each of these. You'd have to write them not in the colors that they represent, so that it would be harder. Maybe write them in black. And you could try to do a matching exercise where you mix them up and you try to match which one goes to which, especially with the answers over here. I hope you enjoyed this lesson.